Welcome to Math Test number 20, Unit 1 Test Misunderstandings. We're going to go over some things we struggle with in our Unit 1 tests. So first, improper to mixed, mixed to improper. We've got to get this down. We just need to practice a couple times. So we're always going to take our denominator bottom number, divide it into our numerator top number. We're asking ourselves, how many times does 3 go into 11 without going over? Use your multiplication chart. Put your finger on 3, go over, you get to 9. When you get to 4, it's 12, so that's too much. So 3 times 3 is 9. And you have 2 left over. And this is sometimes where we struggle. 3 is our whole number, right? That's how many times 3 went into 11. We had 2 left over. That's our numerator. And we always keep our denominator of 3. 3 and 2/3. When we're drawing our picture here, we're going to divide it always up into our denominator. This tells us picture pieces, right? The denominator is all we have to do is look there. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can look at this in a couple ways. We can say we have 3 holes. Okay, cover that in so that you have 3 holes. Or you could look at this as the improper fraction, and you could say I have 11 pieces. Well, I've covered in 9. There's 10. There's 11. Either way, the picture is exactly the same as both your improper fraction, because there are 11 pieces colored in out of boxes that are divided up into 3, or as your mixed number, because there are 3 holes and 2 left over, right? So improper fractions and mixed numbers equal the same thing. Let's try another one. 4 and a 13. 4 goes into a 13 without going over 3 times, so that's 12. And we have 1 left over. So again, my number, if I'm doing this correctly, this is my whole number, so that's 3. My numerator is 1, and I keep my denominator of 4. So I'm dividing these up into 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, you can look at saying, hey, I need to color in 13 of these pieces, or I need to color in 3 holes with 1 extra piece. Either way, they equal the same thing. They're equivalent. A mixed number and improper fraction are equivalent. They're the same way of writing the same number, just in a different way. Alright, so there is 3 and 1/4. You're going to be responsible for the rest of these. Notice when you get to some of these bottom ones here, you're going to have to simplify. So for instance, 4 into 14. I don't make you do the picture, but it goes in there 3 times. That's 12 with 2 left over. So your answer in this case ends up being 3 and 2/4, but that's not simplified because you have 2 even numbers over there. So we got to go ahead and divide by 2. When you do that, you get 3 and 1/2. Answer. Right, so make sure you're looking at dividing. Alright. Now, the opposite way, when you have a mixed number and you're trying to turn it into an improper fraction, you're taking your whole number, 3 and 1/8, 3 times 8, whole number times denominator, that gives you 24. And then you're going to get 25 over, you keep your denominator of 8. So you're going to divide these pieces up into 8. Divide them up into 4, so then make a line across. Probably a little bit more even than what I just did there. And again, there's a couple ways you can think about this. You can either say, hey, I'm going to color in 25 pieces out of my 8s here, or I'm going to color in 3 holes and then 1 extra piece. Because either way, you're going to get the same thing. Notice here, when I color in 3 holes, I'm actually coloring 24 pieces, because 3 times 8 pieces is 24, and then I color in an extra 1. Right? Watch out for simplifying again. Then the other thing on the back is fractions to decimals. Now, some of us memorize these. We need to learn how to use division to solve, because whenever you get yourself in a pinch and you don't know how to memorize them, you got to be able to divide. So same thing, just like you're converting an improper fraction to a mixed number, but you'll notice this time 8 doesn't go into 3, so that's where your decimal comes into play. Now 8 goes into 30 exactly 3 times without going over. That's 24. You have 6 left over. You got another 0, drop it on down. 8 goes into 60 without going over 7 times. That's 56. You got 4 left over. That's another 0. Drop it on down. 8 goes into 40 exactly 5 times. You have nothing left over. You know you're done. So 0.375 is what 3/8 equals. Let's try another one. 2/5. 5 into 2. 5 doesn't go into 2. So that's again where the decimal comes into play. 5 can go into, that should be a 0, 20 exactly 4 times. There's nothing left over, and so that's why 2/5 is equal to 0.4 or 0.4. They're the same thing. All right, let's try one last one. 1/3. 3 goes into 1. Can't do it, so 3 goes into 10 3 times. 9 left over. Sorry, that is 9 with 1 left over, so another 0. 3 goes into 10, up 3 more times. Okay, 1 left over. Let's try it again. 3 goes into 10, up 3 more times. So you'll notice that every single time I'm just going to have 1 left over. So this is 0.333 repeated. All right, you've got the rest. Hopefully this will help clear up some misunderstandings from your test.